What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Well, this video is going to be a little bit of a special video. It's going to be my 1000th upload on my YouTube channel. So in this video, I want to do something a little bit different. So it's going to be, kind of raid related, but not really. So if you guys are not really interested in like these creator kind of videos, by all means, no worries on this video, but it is my 1000th video, and I wanted to share with you guys some of the successes and I guess talk about my journey as a YouTube content creator, mainly for Raid Shadow Legends. Obviously, I did start this channel many years ago. I believe if we look at my history, so just looking at my info here for the my YouTube channel, it says I started in 2012. So I did start this channel a long time ago. At that time, I was playing Diablo. I was playing Diablo 3. I was really into it and all that stuff. But mainly, I made this channel just for a place to hold my videos so that I can show people my builds and what I was doing in Diablo. After that, I did play Diablo for a little while, and I did jump into Hearthstone. So Hearthstone is a card game from Blizzard, and I played that for a long time too. So you can see here my old Diablo videos, but mainly they were just videos of what I was doing in terms of showing my builds and stuff. And then I played Hearthstone for a long time. I was like a pretty expert level Hearthstone player in the arena format. It's like a draft format. And I was really into it. I was really into the community and all that stuff. It's very like much of a neglected format from Blizzard, but it's a card game, right? It's a card game, it's a strategy card game similar to Magic the Gathering. And then eventually I segue into Raid Shadow Legends, and that's when I started doing content a little bit more seriously, but I only really started making videos for Raid at the beginning of 2023. I felt at that time I knew enough about the game. I was good enough at the game, and I was passionate enough about the game that I wanted to make some videos on this. So you can kind of see here. You can kind of see when I started making Raid Shadow Legends. You can see some of my first videos for Raid Shadow Legends. But if you guys are interested in some of these old games, old videos of myself, you guys can have a look. They're very amateur. They're just basically like stream uploads and all that stuff. I had some sick mustache going on back in the day. Obviously, being at home and all that stuff, working from home. But yeah, so you can see all that stuff. But here is, I guess this is the first Raid Shadow Legends video that I ever did. And it's just said, it's my channel update. I'm playing a new game, right? I'm playing a new game. And it's going to be my channel update. And it was like a couple years after my last video, right? And then you kind of see my first Raid Shadow Legends videos. They look really plain. But I did want to, give it a serious go at it, or at least be a little bit more serious than my Hearthstone and Diablo days, in which I was just kind of uploading stuff that I was already streaming and all that stuff. So I just started making some more strategy videos and stuff. And I think everyone needs like a creative outlet, right? And for me, like I don't think I'm any different. I think everybody has a creative side to themselves, and they just need an outlet to kind of let it out, whether it be like, it could be like a blog, it could be like, you could have like a journal, you could be part of a class, you could be part of a community class or teach a class, or be part of a forum where you guys have an interest. It could be anything, some kind of interest and passion. For me, I like being creative. I like personally, the most fun part about creating content is actually making thumbnails. I love making thumbnails. They're just so fun. And it reminds me of a time when, I was younger and I was a kid, and, we used to make some, basically we had like something called like caption comment. And basically my teacher at the time would just put up like an image, and then they would ask the class, give us the best caption for this image, and then you're voted amongst your peers, and then you would kind of get a little prize or whatever at the time. And I loved that. I thought it was so fun. It was just a creative thing. So for me, like, I love like making making thumbnails. Sometimes they're kind of cringe and all that stuff, but honestly it's just for fun, right? And I just do all this for fun. If you guys don't know, like, I have a normal day job. This isn't my day job. That's the thing. It's not my day job. I just do it for fun. And making content for Raid is, for me, very natural because I play Raid a lot. I love the game. I love playing Raid. I don't know why. I love it. I think it's being, you know, the big thing is probably being free to play. I'm detached monetarily to this game, but I love the grinding of the game. Like you can kind of see, like I love Diablo 3. It's just an endless grinding game. Um, you know, farming for gear and all that stuff. And Raid is very similar. It's a grinding game. At the same time, you can pay your way through the game, right? You can pay your way through the grind. But I don't like that. I like grinding the game, you know, right? Like a lot of things I like. I say a lot of things like, "Oh, rise and grind," like you know, wake up and grind. But anyway, so these are some of my earlier videos. You can kind of see like how the thumbnails are kind of evolved. I did gain, you know, some more skills, like, but honestly, I'm still very amateur in terms of like making thumbnails, making content in general. You know, there's lots of things I can improve, and I'm looking forward to like, you know, learning more and trying new things. But you can kind of see like some of my older videos here, how they kind of progressed over time. And like I said, I started in 2023, so it's been about, you know, a year and you know, a year and 8 months or something. So yeah, it's been a journey. 1,000 uploads. You know, thank you guys so much for, you know, hanging out and, you know, being a part of it all. And it's been fun, right? So I can show you guys some analytics of my channel. That might be interesting to some of you guys. You guys might have some insight into it, because for me, the analytics help, but I can't you know, decipher them as well as maybe someone that's obviously does it for a living, for example. So who knows? Maybe somebody out there can give me a hot tip or something that I can do better, for example. So we can check out some of my analytics. We can kind of see how like some of my stuff like kind of progressed. Like in the beginning, it was a lot of like just playing the game, and you know, obviously my live arena stuff. I was really into live arena, and then obviously I tried to, you know, branch out and do some other things, other content. Obviously, try to expand a little bit, right? Just to, you know, and I like the community aspect. You guys might notice that I do respond to comments fairly frequently. I get it, you know, obviously the pings on my phone, so I, you know, not really fully detached from my phone most of the time, and you know, it's part of the perks of my job that I'm able to access my phone. But you guys can kind of see like I'm pretty responsive in comments, even to negative criticism. Like it's all feedback for me, man. So it's all good as long as we can have like a reasonable discussion. Constructive criticism is perfectly good with me, guys. And yeah, you can kind of see here, this is my first official you know, entering the content creator program. About a year ago, I entered the Plarium content creator program about 1 year ago. In the beginning, obviously you start off as a pretty small content creator. You know, you don't really, you know, get much of anything, to be honest, but it's nice to be acknowledged, and not unfortunately not everybody that meets requirements can enter the content creator program for Plarium. I don't know how they choose, so I'm obviously very fortunate. But to me, it's the real end game for free to play, right? Being part of the content creator program. It's like the extension of the game that provides you even more. It's kind of like how people go to Discord as an extension of the game, so that we have a means to communicate, or using Hell Hades Optimizer, or you know, RSL Helper. They're extensions of the game. So the content creator program, to me, it's just an extension of the game. It's trying to get more out of the game, right? But yeah, so this is kind of when, you know, I'm a content creator you know, part of the content creator program. You know, I started taking it a little bit more seriously. I'm gaining a little bit more traction, of course, and it's good, right? Like, it's nice to see that, you know, my efforts lead to some progress, right? So that's kind of the big thing. You always want to progress in whatever you're doing, and you know, having the positive feedback from the community, you know, just with my grinding, you know, it's very encouraging, right? It's very encouraging. So thank you guys so much for that. So yeah, so you guys see, you know, some of my videos, and I try to make daily upload videos. That's the thing too, right? And it's a bit of a grind. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, because like I said, I do work, you know, a regular you know, Monday to Friday job. Like I have a family, you know, obviously obligations, responsibilities, and of course I play this game basically full time, because you can't really just stop playing a free to play account and expect to progress, right? You have to kind of continually play the account to progress. Whereas if I was a spender, I can just, stop for a week, and then if I want to catch up, I'll just pay for it or whatever, right? Oh, I didn't do clan boss for 10 days. That's no big deal. I'll just buy some shards. Like, that makes up for it. No, that's not the case. For me, I have to be active in the game, right? That's the only way I can accumulate resources. So it's difficult, right? But Raid, luckily, is mostly an AFK game, and my account is end game, so that I don't have to manage it as frequently as like a brand new account. And that's kind of why I don't really do like a brand new free to play account, because I can't really devote the amount of time to it anymore, while focusing on 2 end game accounts while doing other obligations in life, right? So it's unreasonable, and I wouldn't be able to give a brand new free to play account like the proper attention that it deserves to be performing well. So that's kind of the thing there. Yeah, so ultimately, like, I try my best to make 1 video a day. Sometimes it's multiple videos a day, even if I'm taking a couple of days vacation, for example. And obviously, like, I do take some vacations. We had this Dragonair thing going on early on. And yeah, it's, I kind of try to make videos on things that are relevant, right? Like things that help me or my experiences in the game or what I'm doing in the game. Like, I offer a lot of like kind of advice, but mostly it's advice that I'm following myself, right? It's kind of like, oh, hey, like, I noticed this, like, and then I think it's helpful to some people. And obviously it's very encouraging to have people say, hey, that's helpful for me, thank you, right? Or, hey, I helped people, I like that, right? Like, obviously that's great positive feedback. So yeah, it's, for me, like, it's easy to make videos because I'm already playing the game. And I'm already invested in the game, and I need to, obviously be on top of the game if I want to, maximize, resources and returns and make the best decisions, right? I don't like making decisions on this game just based on, oh, YOLO or, like YOLO or whatever. I want to have like a solid reasoning behind what I do. And that's kind of like the big thing, right? And to me, like, because, I'm pretty invested into this game, like in terms of like time and kind of just mental capacity, like, it comes relatively easily. I'm not saying it's easy, because sometimes obviously it's not, but so making videos, I'm glad it's helpful to some people, and that's a huge blessing, of course. And I'm doing something that I really like, right? And even though it's kind of like just something on the side, it's kind of a big part of my life, because like I said, I try to make at least 1 video a day. I play this game pretty pretty extensively whenever I have time in my free time, right? And like I said, I do have family obligations and obviously work. You can kind of see here, like, yeah, all these videos, like, it's actually kind of reminds me of things that I've done. And then coming into the new year for 2024, I obviously have to give huge, massive, shout out to Ash, who kind of like got me like discovered, like kind of like introduced me, I guess, to like basically a broader audience, and that really kicked off a lot of traction for me, right? So I'll show you guys some of the analytics here of kind of like my growth and how things are growing and how things I hope will progress, right? And then yeah, so I'll show you guys some of that. So I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to blur out some of the monetary stuff just because I don't feel comfortable showing that. But I'll show you guys the obviously the views here, so you can kind of see the views, kind of going up steadily. Obviously some spikes here and there, which is really cool. And yeah, it's just, we got the hours played, and then total subscribers was obviously a, is normal normal small content creator, right? You have to start small. So I started small for like first 5 months. And this first big bump here, obviously huge shout out to Scratch, who, kind of let me in on his channel just to ask me some questions about entering Platinum Arena back in, 2023. It was kind of like, a little bit, I guess, harder because maybe, I don't know, but it was pretty hard, right? And yeah, he was really generous with his time, and I really appreciate that from Scratch, obviously. So that was my first real kind of boost, just being exposed, right, to a broader audience. And obviously I try my best to like, kind of maintain momentum and all that stuff. And then obviously another huge shout out to Nubkex, who actually gave me his time as well to just go over some things and obviously introduce myself to part of his community. So of course, huge shout out to these guys as well. So you can kind of see like I kind of just maintained steady consistent growth throughout 2023. Definitely I was happy with the trajectory of where things were going, slowly and steadily progressing through, right? After that, in 2024 up to now, I guess, you kind of see here the growth was pretty massive. So obviously this is kind of when Ash came along and introduced me to his audience, and that was just massive, right? So I obviously tried my best to keep up with that, and in terms of just like everything, it was kind of crazy. And yeah, so he came back, and this is our second collab together, and that was obviously another big bump. And then I try my best to maintain, right? And it's still, obviously super solid. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm super happy and grateful for all of this, right? Like this is just insane for me to do this, and for people to be so like pretty interested and involved. Actually, I love the comments, of course, right, and the suggestions. It's very humbling, and obviously I'm very grateful. So obviously subscriber growth is just like one thing, of course. And obviously we have views. Recently I've just had a quick spike in views. I think it's mostly because of some additional work I've had on the test server. I gained test server access sometime mid-year this year, so I've only had test server access for maybe about 3 months, 3 or 4 months, 3 months, I think. That was a big threshold, right? Having the access to test server means that we're part of the upper tier of content creators for Plarium. And obviously this allows us access, to champions I don't have. Being free to play, I don't really have access to like massive amounts of champions, especially compared to other testers, right? So like this is on live, I mean. So on the test server now, I have access to some of the newer champions. I won't always have them because Plarium will take them away, but at least I have them for a limited amount of time, and at least I can play test them. So it's pretty cool. I think it's awesome, and it was really fun. And obviously, people are responsive, and hopefully they enjoy the content, and that's the biggest thing. I want to create quality content, and I think like putting an amount of time into it, and finding things that are relevant and helpful for players is ultimately what I want to do. But keep in mind that the test server account is basically playing a third account, so it's not without detriment to my own account. So I'm playing a third account. I'm investing time into my third account on the test server, basically, and therefore it's taking time away from my free-to-play accounts, which means progress is stalled a little bit. But obviously I try my best to keep up on those accounts as well. But yeah, just some analytics here. We can go over some other stuff here. Yeah, impressions. Obviously, like, people being involved is very good. And I think, part of that is just me being extra involved, I guess, with answering questions and all that stuff, or just responding to feedback. Let's see, top video here. This Lydia video, I'm, one of the surprises, right? People want to see like, Lydia options and all that stuff. So it's really been one of my best videos, in 2024. And then obviously some of the build videos have been very, very well received, right? So obviously my clan boss video, my Odin video, my Adlin video, and then my ninja video, some of the build videos. So that's kind of what you guys are looking for. Like, Shard videos are good. They're short fun, but they don't produce the most views, right? They don't produce the most views. The most impactful videos are the ones that help people progress. And and that makes sense, right? That makes sense. So just for anybody out there that's looking into like making content, content videos, like those are the ones that do the best. If you come up with a very, interesting way of completing progress, then that's going to do well for you, hopefully, right? So obviously those take more effort and resources and time, but usually you get back what you put in, right? So audience, just a quick little note here. So my general audience, they're between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. I think that's pretty normal. 2/3 of my audience is not subscribed. I think that's pretty low. I think that's on the low end, because I've seen like some videos, I've seen like 80% not subscribed and 20% subscribed. And yeah, United States, my main geographic, 3% female, 90% males. Main age demographic, 25 to 34, 36%, 35 to 44, 30%. I think Raid is generally like an older person game, right? Obviously, it requires income. So you don't see that many 18 to 24 range here. You see actually more older people, similar to my age, I think. No CC, no closed captioning for you guys. That's cool. Let's see, revenue. Don't need to talk about that. Inspirations. And yeah, like obviously, like okay, like a lot of these guys, they're they're trailblazers, they're inspirations, of course, right? Like obviously, I think one of the biggest inspirational things that I've heard was actually from Mac Chan's channel, where he was talking about his content creator journey, and he was kind of saying that all he had to do was, how he was saying, kind of describing it for himself, saying that, oh, you can kind of just be a content creator. It's not that hard. He was just saying how accessible it was. And then I was like, oh, okay. And that kind of stuck with me for a little bit. I don't know, like, obviously that's not going to be like the most influential thing, it being easy, because it's not, right? It's not being easy. But him saying that like kind of opened the door, like saying like, oh, it's accessible to everyone, right? Anyone can do it. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll try my hand at it. And like I said, the first many months of, when I first started was very low, right? Like I started 6 months. It took me 5 or 6 months to get monetized. So it took me 5 or 6 months of just grinding videos, daily videos, just to get monetized. So it's not an easy journey, right? And obviously, I tried my best to keep it up. And then I had, obviously some big breaks, right? I reached out, got some big breaks, and I try to ride that, right? Try to build the momentum, right? Obviously you can have your big break, but maybe you don't ride that momentum, or you don't connect, or whatever, right? You don't relate. So I don't know. But yeah, it's just, yeah, those are some things there. And yeah, my top videos, those are interesting, of course. These are my top videos. Some of the videos, obviously, like, like this one is actually pretty insane. This hour-long shard pull session, I pulled for like, I don't know, 20 accounts or something. It's just ridiculous. And yeah, like, like I said, build videos, how-to videos, just like, they do the best, right? They do generally better than shard pull videos. All right, guys, so that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys got some insight into, like, I guess, a day in the life of myself and my content creator journey. Like I said, this is my 1000th video on this channel, so I did want to make something a little bit different. If you guys find this interesting, let me know in the comments below. If you guys have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to try my best to answer them. I guess next goals for myself, I guess 20,000 subscribers would be the next goal. I'm not, that doesn't really do anything for me, but like, it'd be nice to hit it one day. And obviously just continuing to make quality content that relates and connects with everybody, right? Like that's kind of like the goal for me. Just as a way to get more out of this game. Because for me, I think if you're going to tackle this game by yourself without any communication with people, it's a pretty lonely game. So for me, like, I'm very active in Discord and all that stuff. And you guys are interested in my Discord, let me know. Like, I have it in the description below, so you guys want to check that out. Yeah, it's for me, it's fun. It's fun, and content creating is fun. And I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. So as long as Raid is fun for me and I can make content, I can create content, and it's still fun to create content, I will. And if you guys still want to watch it, I'll be happy to make more. So anyways, guys, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of the week. Appreciate your time. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one.